Jumanji.
Popcorn Junkies.
What's that? What's that? Did you hear that?
What's that? What was that?
I wasn't in time.
You weren't, were you? You never are, really. Popcorn Junkies doing Jumanji, but not any old Jumanji. Jumanji, the next level.
The next level.
Do you know why it's called the next level, Nat?
Because
it's the next level in the game.
Yeah. Did you know that, Mum?
Yes.
Or did you just think it was a
I
sequel?
didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
The next level. I reckon the next one's going to be called Jumanji Game Over.
No, it won't be.
No, we
never going to call anything game.
Anyway, so here's the thing. This is Jumanji, the sequel. The first one was an absolute surprise hit for all of us as a family film, wasn't it?
Meaning the first one of the new ones.
Explain that. Exactly. The first one of the new ones. Because, of course, the original stars Robin Williams, doesn't it? Do you remember that?
It was a big deal when it came out.
It was a big deal when it came out, but it was a board game then,
I think
not an
and
Atari
then there
game.
was a second one, which wasn't good, but it was called like Zim. So it was called
Was
something
it called
else.
Jumanji Zumbles?
No, it was like it began with a Z, I think.
Something
but it
like
wasn't good.
Anyway, we like Robin Williams, but I have to say I think they've done a supreme job of revitalising the franchise and kicking it on. Again, we've got virtually every man crush in my life, babe. Sorry, we've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who I think's had a few duds this year. We've got Kevin Hart in there, who we all adore. Tiny with his backpack.
Who could not adore
His backpack.
He's back with his backpack. We've got Jack Black.
Who we all adore.
Jablinski,
Notice what a lovely complexion he has today.
Who?
Jack
The way
Black.
you said that is as if
Got
he was
the
in the
most
room.
Weird, yeah, like as if we'd
He's
met.
got the most perfect complexion. I know.
Jack Black has the complexion of a baby's
That's
bottom.
because Jack Black is a god.
He's a god.
He is a god.
I think his ablutions are brilliant. I think he really cares and tenderises his skin. We also have Karen Gillan.
Yes.
Karen
She's
Gillan,
great.
who Nanny Di only just discovered was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Now I know.
Went to
Now
my
you
old
know.
school.
Went to Maddie's old school. And we have two new additions.
The horse.
The
You
horse,
to give
Obsessed with
anything
that
away.
horse.
Danny DeVito.
Yes.
Of course, and
What I loved that I had no idea Danny
Did
DeVito
you
was
not?
in it because
Oh,
I'm
didn't
such a
you?
massive fan, and
Yeah.
it was just he was there right from frame
It was a
one.
nice
and
surprise,
He was,
wasn't
he was
it?
great.
But not just was he there in the first frame, he was there throughout, even though he's not there throughout.
Yes.
You'll learn out.
Did you
you'll
say
learn
Danny
more.
Glover was-
And Danny Glover's in there, who we recently saw.
Isn't he a
Oh,
beautiful man?
and his
Beautiful.
God,
voice.
that face.
But also there's another one that we can't leave out, which is the girl, and I don't know her name to say it, who plays
Awkwafina.
Awkwafina.
Awkwafina, who's
That
in
was a
there too,
surprise.
which was also
Yeah,
a surprise.
that
I'd
was
forgotten she was in this.
Yeah.
So an absolutely rammed cast. By your standards, Maddie, that many stars in a film shouldn't be good.
No, that's true.
No.
Generally,
I have
your
some-
assessment,
But they're not. They're a different kind of
Star. I know what
Do you
you
know
mean.
what I mean? When I say like big stars put together,
not starry.
I mean like Knives Out.
Before I agree. Before we get to Nanny Di, because there's something I particularly want to ask the short woman at the end of your shot. Kiki and Maddie, how excited were you after seeing the trailers for this film?
I was not excited at all.
We weren't, were we?
I thought it looked bad.
I don't think the trailer
Did
was
you
good
kids?
at all. They didn't do the film justice. It was a poor trailer.
Well, the horse
Especially
was
after
talking.
seeing that film, it was a poor trailer.
I think mine and
Didn't give me
Kiki's.
any of the funny bits.
I think mine and Kiki's fear and Maddie's fear was that they weren't occupying the characters that they knew they were in the first one. So we thought
Oh
it's not going
yeah,
to be
but
as
well,
good.
that's different to it not being a good trailer.
No, but from the trailer, I didn't like the old.
It was a bad trailer.
Kiki Bee Sting.
The Kiki Bee Sting. It's the Kiki Bee Sting, guys.
Yeah,
Just
but
like
I'm
it
a
was a
big
shit
fan.
trailer. So Maddie and Kiki weren't excited. I was a little bit nervous, but let's just share
No,
with the
you
world.
weren't a little bit.
I was
nervous. You
expecting the worst.
Were you?
I was expecting the best
I
That's
know.
what I was
Well, that's
worried
what
about
that's what I'm
going
building to. Why were you in such a frenzy of excitement?
because I just knew in my bones I do over some things, and I knew that was going to be really, 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 really good.
Funny.
I don't know why.
Weird.
It was like a little kid.
You've been so excited for
You've been
days.
but stupidly more than The Irishman or
More than Father Christmas.
any of the
honey.
sort of quality.
Irishman.
No, but all those films that I
Was
can
anyone
imagine you getting
excited about
excited
The
about.
Irishman?
Well, I thought one of the charms of the first film was that you genuinely felt they all got on,
Yeah.
and you also felt that they were all having a good time.
Yeah.
And because I follow Jablinski Games, I also know that Jack Black and the team are all friends. They all get on.
I think Maddie's right. Often when it's a starry cast, you feel the competitiveness in
Yeah,
it,
you can
and
do.
that's breaking through the characters.
Yes.
But they just all having huge fun, and that just comes through.
Now, a little bit of film geekery here. The director and writer of this is Jake Kasdan, who, to someone like me, who is an enormous fan of the Raiders of the Lost Ark franchise, is the son of the writer of all the Raiders of the Lost Ark films.
Oh.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah.
Because it feels a bit Raiders of the
It is
Lost
a
Ark.
bit Raiders.
I love that kind of
I
connection.
thought that halfway through. I thought
Did
it's
you?
Raiders of the Lost Ark for the modern generation.
Yeah. So, what I liked, what did you think, guys? When it started, I was really encouraged because I felt that we spent a bit more time in the real world, away from the kind of
So I'm a bit
avatars.
scared because I was really enjoying the real world.
Yes,
And I
so
thought,
did
blimey,
I.
we've got to go off and do the pretend world now.
Oh, that's funny.
I feel like Kiki, you're going to agree with me. I didn't like any of the actual world
No,
stuff.
actually,
Didn't
I
you?
didn't either much.
I found
What,
it
Danny
really...
DeVito?
Danny DeVito
No,
in there.
he was great, but
Oh.
there was a weird, like,
Really cringy.
Yeah.
cringy
Oh.
staginess to
It was
the
like
real
those
world.
really cringy Christmas films.
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly.
No, I actually
I agree,
agree.
but I
And
think I like
he
that.
was upstaging himself, and he was showing off.
Yeah.
And he was playing up to the camera. But I
Who?
quite liked it. Danny DeVito.
Oh,
No,
right.
but we're saying he was the only thing I liked about
Yeah, but
it.
it was a
The
bit.
real world.
But it was a bit like Home Alone, that
Yes.
kind of feeling,
Yeah,
it
wasn't
was
it,
like
to the
Home Alone,
beginning?
very like
Definitely.
Home Alone.
I thought I was really cringing with the whole
Were
New
you?
World
Oh,
stuff.
were you thinking, oh, this is
I
gonna be
actually
awful?
only enjoyed the bit when Danny Glover arrives and like Danny DeVito and him.
That
like,
is fairly
talking.
near the beginning.
I only really enjoyed the film once they were properly
in the game.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoyed the Danny DeVito.
I love the
stuff.
Danny
Loved
DeVito
it.
No, I did
setup.
too.
I
I
liked him and
said
Danny
that
Glover.
was what I liked, but the rest of it I didn't like. I didn't
right.
like the
Them all
kids.
meeting in the cafe and all that kind
No,
of
it
stuff.
was a
wasn't much
cafe
of
where it
that,
was
though.
pretty
Yeah,
That
no,
was
I mean,
dull.
but yeah, that's a good grab. Home Alone. It was very like Home Alone, and I found myself buying into that and thinking, oh yeah, great Christmas film.
And it was nice that it started with a bit of Christmas.
It's a Christmassy film. It's a Christmassy film. So then we enter the game. It doesn't really matter how we enter the game, but we do enter the game. They've gone to rescue
But
Spencer,
Bethany doesn't go in. Remember?
but Bethany doesn't go in. And at this point, all my fears with the trailer were there again because I was thinking, oh no, which characters are they all going to be?
Yeah.
And I was really confused for a bit. Were you
I was
confused?
really confused.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. They made it.
Well, I didn't realise that because we didn't really realise that Danny DeVito and Danny Glover's characters
I
also
didn't.
go through the machine.
And not
No, I
initially.
didn't
I saw
realise
that
that
because you know the green stuff that pulls them in.
Yes.
The green
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah, it
comes
was
from
creepy.
I
upstairs.
saw it coming from upstairs, but I didn't make the connection.
It does the impossible, which is, for me, it kind of parallels all those similar scenes in the original film.
Yeah.
But they all felt sufficiently different.
Yeah.
I was worried at points though with the bringing up the stuff from the first, but like with the hippo, I was like, okay, I'm glad it didn't eat
Yes.
Kevin Hart because it was a bit too much like the first one. So I'm glad that they changed it because I would have wanted it to be the same.
Whereas
stuff
when the
that they
hippo
go.
came in, it was like, it was good, it was relevant because it's like, oh my god, we're going back to all this hell again.
Yeah.
No, it
We
was,
know the
but
hippo.
I mean, that
I
was
don't
my
know
worry
how I
of
know
this
this
film.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Of
that-
it being basically the same thing with them
Yes.
playing different characters.
Yeah.
So I was still worried by that point, but then I was.
But then I felt it
in
sort
the
of moved
plane.
on, yeah. And then they sort of go into the airplane and then they set off on their adventure and
That
they're getting another.
Jack Black fell out of the plane
Yeah.
and rolling
Oh, yeah.
down
Oh my God, I
June
was
for like
crying.
ages.
It was good, and the way that the
Crying.
pilot was trying to explain it to the two old people.
Oh,
Yes.
they just didn't understand.
Well, you see, there's a lot of in jokes there for players of computer games. If you haven't played computer games, you won't know what a non-player character NPC.
Yeah.
That's what's
And then-
good because they keep repeating it
Yeah,
to explain
yeah.
to the elderly ones. So
Yeah.
if you don't know,
Yeah,
you do know. You
and
get to know.
you girls will remember how when they said, "Oh no, we're going to go to one of those already cut films in a game." So
Yeah.
when they do the setup
Flashbacks.
of the villain and the stone,
Yeah.
that is a chapter that you get on all PS4 games, PS3 games, where you go out of the game and you're into a mini film. So they
Yes, you
recreate
watch what's
the
about
game
to
experience in it. So I think there's a lot
love
of kind of
those
in
bits.
jokes there and in riffs about sort of playing games and the character in the airplane having a limited number of lines to
Yeah,
explain
I
answer
love
to,
that.
which
I
I
love
really like that.
Yeah.
I thought that Kevin Hart's impression of Danny Glover was so accurate.
was
He
phenomenal.
sounded.
It was.
At one point, I thought that they had put Danny Glover's voice
Yes.
over Kevin Hart's. Like it was crazy.
It was
I
crazy.
did love Kevin.
And of course, his characteristic was to tell things in an incredibly slow way
Yeah.
and to.
But he got his inflections down to
Totally.
the pauses, the everything.
You felt they probably hung out for an awful
Yeah.
amount of time getting to know each other's
Oh,
internal
yeah.
biorhythms.
So accurate.
And
Exactly.
also, at the beginning of it, I was a bit worried. I thought, this is kind of something that even a big actor would need an acting coach
Yes,
for.
yes.
So how am I just not, so that he's not just doing like a caricature?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
How does he make it organic? And I think, no, this isn't going to work. But it did. It
It really did work.
It did,
And I
yeah.
thought he was ably matched with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson
Dwayne
did Danny
Johnson.
DeVito.
Yeah.
The way
Yeah.
he'd do his arms and
Yeah.
then turn around
Dwayne
and run
was
off.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought this was almost one of The Rock Johnson's most versatile performances.
Really good.
Wasn't he?
I liked all of them. That's my
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Because they've all got their own reasons.
I was a
why
bit disappointed that Jack Black wasn't, what's her face, Stephanie?
Was
It
Bethany.
was still funny.
Bethany even. Who's Stephanie?
Yeah, I could be given
He
more
was
of
towards
Jack
the
Black,
end.
actually, that's true.
Hey?
I could have been given more of Jack Black.
Yeah, I always want more Jack Black,
Yeah,
but I
right.
think that's
if
the
you
best thing
think
to be
about
left
it,
with.
If you think about it, in the first one, he was like the main laugh.
He was.
Yeah,
He was.
that's
I thought
right.
this was more Kevin Hart and Dwayne
It
The
was,
Rock,
I like.
it was.
which was good. But
Who
it,
did you like the best, Kiki?
I agree. Maddie, Kevin, I loved him.
Kevin,
Really?
I
yeah.
always loved him.
He
And then
was
at one
so
point, I was
funny.
really thinking about the size of his backpack, and I couldn't unsee
was
it. I was like,
No, no, well,
"Oh,
I-
it's so big."
Do you know
Yeah.
what I wondered whether they'd done across the film as an in-joke amongst the team, that his backpack got bigger and bigger
I
and
think
bigger?
it did.
So
I
that by
honestly
the end,
did.
it was almost bigger than
Yeah,
him.
it was.
It was that monk.
Yeah.
Later on, there's a monkey scene, and
That's
the bag
right.
was so big at that
That's
point.
right,
I was
that's
like,
right.
"This cannot be."
I like the fact that they did the thing of, oh, God,
Yeah.
hit their chest, and then their sort of weaknesses
Yeah.
and
Oh my
strengths
god,
came
I was
up.
laughing so much when Jack Black did that, and his
Some-
weakness was solid sand.
Oh, I know, they were in the desert. It was so
That's
funny.
just brilliant when I'm in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, yeah, and of course, what was Kevin Hart's cake in the first one, wasn't he, when he blew
cake
up?
was
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
So I like the way they did that thing where they go, oh, that's news. So
Yes.
everything that could have been eggy in the plot was made part of the plot.
Yeah.
So that you
They
just went with
explained
it.
to people
Yeah,
in
you
the
just
audience
wrote it.
show.
I thought you wrote it really well.
Yeah.
Any set pieces that we
I felt sorry
particularly...
for the girl that she didn't get anything funny.
Karen Gillan? Yeah, I know what you mean. She didn't really get anything
Not a funny line
Yeah.
given to her. And it wasn't that she got it and she wasn't funny, it was just nothing.
I found it confusing, that scene where it's Jack Black and her and the water.
Oh, well,
and
I
they
like
change
that.
And then
Oh, I
change.
liked that.
I mean,
Because
I,
in a
I
lot-
liked it, but I thought if they're going to do a lot of this, I'm going to get really confused.
But what was good about that is in a lot of games that the girls have played, like the Lego games on
You always-
PS4,
yeah,
you can by
Yeah.
pressing a key, you change
The way they did
character.
it,
Wow.
as well, they
Yeah,
do
and the
it.
way they did it is
Oh,
how you
yeah,
do it in
was
games.
it?
You go,
Oh,
oh no,
wow.
I want to be him, so you just do, and that thing
That was
happens. Doesn't it? Like a glow of colour happens, and
they
then you sort of
explained
change.
it brilliantly.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Harry Potter, I know that happens.
It cracked along at a licking
Oh,
pace,
yeah,
didn't
quick
it?
pace.
Move. I thought
And
there
it was
was.
a really good action movie.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
The
was.
action was great, the
Yeah.
stunts were great.
Yeah.
I
And
liked
also-
what's his face from Game of Thrones.
Oh, Game of Thrones is the villain. He was very
Oh,
good, wasn't he?
yeah.
The
It was
one
so
with the sword
cartoon
face.
villain.
Yeah,
How tall
cartoon
is he?
villain.
He was bigger than Dwayne. Well, mind you, he was massive in.
He's
Game
about
of Thrones.
19 foot in
I
Game
mean, I
of
think the
Thrones.
thing to say is that we're saying, oh, this was funny, that's what, we're talking about laughing.
Laugh
hard
out
and
loud.
Out loud.
No, like-
Okay, well, okay, hang on a minute. All I could see was Kiki's head doing this every now and then.
Yeah.
And that's really hard. I can't remember what the last film was that we were all like that. It was around Christmas
But
time.
I've never
and we
seen
were all
Kiki laugh
hound-
like that before.
I've never laughed like that before.
Just
Yeah, you
give
were-
us an impersonation
I
of your
think
laughter.
It was the first Dwayne
We-
Rock Jumanji we laughed like this.
I don't think
I'm
you
sure
laughed
it
like
was.
that.
No,
You
not
laughed.
that much.
You
No,
laughed.
she
So
was
you were.
Like my makeup is smudged and everything.
Yay!
Yeah, that's really nice. Because
Yeah,
you
needed
didn't
some
really
cheering
want to see
up
it.
after being ill as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Maybe you were just letting a lot of emotion out. I felt a bit
Have you
emotional.
had a bit of a breakdown?
Crying.
Nanny Di went from screaming with laughter to feet off the floor, to me dribbling, to you crying with
Well,
the
yes,
friend thing, of
with the
course,
friend
yeah, all that. And I thought it was nice the way they touched upon all that stuff between Danny DeVito and Danny Glover were very much in the film because the actors that were their
Yes.
avatars
Yeah.
played them so well.
They did.
Yeah, so
they
yeah,
did.
yeah, because when I really think about it, especially Danny Glover was hardly
Yeah.
in it.
Yes.
And I think the other thing that I liked about it, which I really liked about the first film, is the whole thing with the 3 lives on your, on
I
your
love
arm.
that,
As you
yeah.
can see there, I've lost
Yeah.
one. It gives you that added thrill of never knowing when someone's going to suddenly die.
Yeah.
I
And
kept
so-
Yeah.
thinking they'd like one
I
day.
knew something was going to happen to Danny Glover. I was like,
Yes.
he's going to die in the game, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like at the whole point, the whole way through the film, I was like, I feel like somebody's going to die.
It was
Yeah.
it was a lovely end.
Which is a good,
Yeah.
but
It was
that's
a lovely end, wasn't it?
But I think that's a good film. If
Yeah.
you don't, because films where you're just like, I know that they're not going to die. I know.
Yes.
That
I thought Kevin Hart was even funnier than
Yeah.
he was in the first
Yeah,
one.
I did.
And I think his stuff with translating the camels, and
Oh my
translating
God,
the
that was
horses
so
and the animals,
funny.
and then going into over descriptions of the
I
animals
don't
and the
think he said a
baboons.
single line that I didn't laugh.
No, I mean, he
don't
delivers
know.
things with such commitment.
I
and
know.
It
he's-
was so good.
He's so
He's so
good.
funny.
It's
And-
just pure funny, isn't
Pure
it?
funny.
funny.
And then old Dwayne The Rock still doing his smouldering,
Well,
but
yeah.
through
Oh,
Danny
the
DeVito.
smouldering.
About the bit where he was punting all the people.
Oh my god, yeah, there's a scene where he's kind of
And it
standing
reminded
guard.
Kiki of Dad.
That's
like,
why that's when I was crying because I just could see Dad punching all the
Be like
Dad
me
gets
being
such bad
security on their
rage.
party.
Yeah, but also Dad gets really bad road rage.
Yeah, I
or
do.
also if
Oh, yes.
anybody in the public is acting in a way that doesn't satisfy Dad,
He turns into
I would
policeman.
imagine he would go that.
What was it he said? He said, what, can I help you here?
He was
Yeah.
like, there's nothing to see here, move on.
Oh yeah.
They were like, What did you say? There's no.
Just
He
the way he
was
just
so
punches
funny
them and they
being.
fly away.
Every time he went fearless, it was so.
Yeah.
But that's what I
wasn't
mean,
it?
because they're playing the characters that are their original person, but then they're also playing the characters of the characters in the game. So
Yeah, it's really
Braveheart
clever.
or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's very, very meta. All right, well, let's sum up and score it, shall we? Maddie.
Okay, so I went in this film not expecting much because I was really disappointed by the trailer and I was worried because I found the first one so good. But I ended up absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
I thought that I can't really fault any of the performances in it, really. I think everybody kind of... The thing that makes it really good is it could be a really kind of cheesy kind of film, but I think because all of the actors just go at it full.
Yeah,
full
it's
whack.
your age-old
They
thing of
commit
go
to it
full
so
tilt.
much that
they
you
do.
don't
Yeah.
doubt it for a second.
Yeah.
No, not a second.
They're totally committed, aren't
Such a
they?
good cast, and you can tell that they have fun on set as well as when they're filming it. I think I preferred the storyline in this one than I did in
I think
the
I did.
first
Yeah,
one.
I did
But like they knew what they were doing more.
Yeah.
That might be because they've done a first one now. I tell you also the other person I loved was the woman in the red dress.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
yes.
She was
Oh,
great.
wasn't
she
She,
brilliant?
yeah.
Yeah. I
Brilliant.
love
Where
it.
she'd run off.
Yeah, she good. Well remembered. That was very funny.
And I ended up really loving Danny DeVito and Danny Glover being in it because
Yes.
that was one of my biggest fears. I was like, I don't know if I like that they're both older
Yeah,
people
yeah,
now
yeah,
because
yeah.
I loved Kevin Hart as
Yeah.
Fridge in it so much in the first one.
Yes.
And I loved Dwayne Johnson as Steve.
Yeah.
whatever his name is. So I was worried, but I ended up loving that as well. And I think that this one was better written as well. The script was like. I think because of the genre it's in, so an action movie kind of
Family
comedy, I
movie.
would give it a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Booby doobie.
Totally. I wasn't bored for a second.
The thing that made this so good was it was a brilliant script, which was clearly written for some well-drawn characters from the first episode, from the first film, and they all just ran at it. It was like they'd already hit the ground running.
Yeah,
It was like the
absolutely.
emus coming across the dunes. They ran at this, they picked up where they'd left off. I didn't mind the little preamble at the beginning. I thought Danny DeVito and Danny Glover were excellent additions, and as I say, to somehow manage to keep their performance riding through the film with them not in it is quite a remarkable
It
achievement.
is.
If you think about what this film is actually doing for saying it's a mainstream juggernaut box office number, it's actually quite sophisticated.
It
And I
is.
like mainstream films that are pretty sophisticated.
Yeah.
I thought it riffs on the whole game, ideas of computer games. I thought all the acting was sensational. Fair point. I think Karen Gillan was perhaps underused a little bit. I think Jack Black was a little bit underused.
Yeah,
If I have one quibble with the whole concept, I always feel that the teenage characters never have the personality that they have when they're in
I absolutely
in the
agree.
grown-up characters.
I don't like the teenage.
No, exactly. I'm always a bit disappointed by how thin
Really?
their characters are.
Maybe that's
because
deliberate.
that's supposed to be, and that's why he goes back. He's so depressed.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
this person
Yeah.
he is.
No,
I think that's.
I agree,
that's
but I think you would still see flashes of it within them when they're in the real world, just to believe that
I
that
agree,
would be the
'cause
extension of
The
them.
main one's only kind
Yeah.
of one that you can tell is the same in and out of the
Yeah,
game
yeah,
as
yeah.
the asthma pump.
Yeah, the guy from
The
Hereditary. Yeah,
graphics.
absolutely.
That's
I think
it,
you
really.
feel it with him. Yeah, totally. Whereas in this one, I totally felt it with Danny Glover and Danny DeVito and their characters. I felt
Yeah,
that was
that
a
was
genuine
really
extension.
Yeah.
I love the way they're shot. I love the way they're made.
Yeah,
It was
I-
Raiders of the Lost Ark. I was saying to my mum on the way out, it makes you realise what I accepted as a kind of film like Raiders. This is working on so many other levels
Yeah.
now for
Yeah.
young kids. It's a much more
Yeah.
sophisticated
For the modern
film
age, yeah.
than used to be made. So I would, as a family film, I'd say this is much better than the first film.
Yeah.
Even better than the first film. And I'd give it, as a family entertainment, I'd give it 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Kiki B.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer, I wasn't excited at all. I didn't think they should have made a second one.
Ah.
And I didn't like the beginning. I think I only liked it once they were actually in the games. Honestly, I think it was like, yeah, it was better than the first one. My favourite scene was when he was punching everyone because I literally was just imagining.
When he was a doorman.
I was laughing so much. My mate got smudged from crying so much. I don't think anything was wrong with it, and it was so fun. I'd definitely watch it. I could watch it like
Yeah,
Right
I could
now,
watch
so-
it.
It was
Is it a
so-
film you'd watch with your friends?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think it's the film that you've laughed the most in the cinema at?
Yeah, you
I
saw
think-
me.
Yeah, definitely. She was
Yeah.
headbutting the chair in front of her.
Yeah, I loved it, so I'd give it a 10 as well. There's nothing wrong with it.
Favourite character? It's hard, isn't
Kevin, I
it?
think.
Kevin.
Or
Kevin
The
Hart.
Rock.
Yeah.
So funny.
No.
So you're giving it a 10, 3 10s. Gosh, Nanny Di.
I knew it was going to be good, and don't ask me why, but I just did. And you guys would back me up in that, wouldn't you? I was so overexcited.
Yeah,
I was
she was
slightly
so
worried
excited.
about you.
But
I thought we were
I
going to
knew
have
It was
to.
like a kid being told they're going to Disneyland.
It was.
And I
It
was
was
worried that we were going to go in and Disneyland was closed.
It was,
Yeah.
because I've only seen the trailer once. I wasn't nearly as disappointed in it as you guys were, because
The horse.
there's
Have
a
we seen a
horse.
different trailer?
Yeah, the horse.
The horse, you know.
But Mum, it was like you went in. It's
But
like you had a sugar rush going in,
Yeah.
and now you're so depleted.
No,
What do you think
I'm
about
not.
the
sad it ended.
ostriches?
Well, I worry that ostriches only travel in ones and twos and not in packs. But they would have checked that fact. So
I'm
can't be
sure they'll have
Yes,
checked
because
that
they
fact.
stuck.
They will,
Yes, because
they
they
will,
stuck
they
to
will.
all
But-
the authentic facts.
But funny
throughout.
enough,
I don't know if hippos move that quickly.
no.
I don't know if you
that's
can die
true.
3 times.
No.
I love the fact.
Oh,
that-
do they? Oh, right. Oh, apparently hippos do. They're pretty nimble.
I love the fact that it was set in different
Locations. for
locations.
change.
So
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
got the, you know,
Yeah.
the sand dunes and all of that. Well, the horse, I can't say enough about the horse.
You love that horse.
You love
I
that
do.
horse. I love the horse when the horse leapt into the water.
I know.
And I
know,
also when
yeah.
he came over to see Jack Black.
That's
before,
right. They all
also-
rock. Yeah, very funny.
And my favourite character, funny enough, I mean, I thought everybody was excellent, but my favourite character was the girl,
Oh, right.
Chinese.
Farewell.
Oh,
I
Awkwafina.
thought she was fabulous.
Yeah, she was
she was.
very good.
She wasn't just an impersonator. She
No,
got Danny DeVito.
she was Danny DeVito,
She
yeah.
was,
She was an
absolutely-
old man.
She was a little
integral
old
to the
bald
thing,
man.
yeah. And my favourite scene was the scene with the bridges going across.
Oh, that was a cracking
Oh, the
scene. In
monkeys.
terms of set pieces,
Yeah.
that was very.
That
It
scene.
I
was.
knew it was monkeys and I got
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
oh.
And I
mandrills,
thought
weren't
halfway
they?
through it, like you said, I just thought, oh my god, because I thought this is one for
Raiders.
Raiders,
Over the-
Raiders,
One flew over the baboon's arse.
Raiders for modern times. And
It
absolutely
is a
was.
Raiders for modern
And I
times.
give it 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Great.
Oh,
It's a
Nadia.
good point to bring up Awkwafina, actually. Is
Yeah.
that what you said?
She was fabulous.
Because we haven't really spoken
No, we
about
haven't
her.
actually, and she was-
is stunning. Do you remember that dreadful film we saw, Crazy Rich Asians?
She was the only good thing in it.
And she was the only good thing in
She
it.
was really good in Ocean's 8 as well.
Yeah, and she was very good in
Yeah.
The Farewell. She might be
really
nominated
good
for an
in The
Oscar.
Farewell.
in The
Yeah, and
Farewell.
so I was thinking, oh, are we just going to get 5 minutes of her again?
Yes.
Yeah.
But she was actually really good, and she had a really well
Yeah.
written. They'd written very well for her.
And they
so-
were very generous with her. You felt the
Yeah.
whole thing
She got
embraced
good
her in.
comedy timing,
Yeah,
hadn't
got
she?
great
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
She sounded just like
she
Danny.
did.
She
She
sounded
did.
just like Danny.
Yeah, she really inhabited his character.
did, she
She's
did.
a very good actress.
She
That's
really
why she's
is,
so,
yeah,
so
yeah.
funny. I mean, you can't spend your money in a better way if you want an all-round family entertainment. We've gone from 70 down to 12, and
Yeah,
everybody
true.
enjoyed it at the same
Yeah.
level. And it's not often that you can say that about any
No, that's
entertainment.
very
No.
true. actually.
I thought the commitment that all the actors had, and it is that old thing, be prepared to make a fool of yourself or you'll make a fool of yourself, and they throw themselves into
They
it
do.
so wholeheartedly that you just jump on the ride and you go with them, and and everything is believable, you know.
Yeah.
Do ostriches charge
I know,
thousands
Yeah.
at a
I
time?
know.
Can you really die 3 times until survive? Yeah, we're in this crazy world. I mean, everything about it, I wouldn't think would be my kind of film.
No,
So
exactly.
Video games
No,
and all
very
of that.
true.
Not often enough do we go to the cinema and laugh out loud.
Mm.
And I definitely think the last time that we all went to one where we laughed out loud, it was Jumanji.
I think it was. But
It was
yeah,
Jumanji
It
1.
was the standout film of that year. It was
Yeah.
because we all went and went, bloody hell, we had a great time.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Dwayne Rock's really come into his own.
He has,
with it
yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's actually. It's actually quite complex what he's doing.
Yeah,
with his
exactly.
character.
Exactly.
He's actually a very good actor.
He's
He is.
actually really good.
Yeah.
Again, 100% commitment to it.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart is a genius. I just, out of all those actors, who would you like to spend a weekend with? Him. I
Yeah.
bet he's just one of those guys where you're just laughing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
morning and
constantly.
noon. He can play vulnerability.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's that sweetness about him
He's
that he will just tap into.
Yeah.
Totally.
Which a lot of short guys won't because
No.
they don't
Don't
want
rub
to be
it
the
in.
short.
Don't
They
rub
don't
it
want to
in.
be the short guy.
No,
so
exactly.
he's used that to advantage. I also absolutely loved that scene with the
Yeah.
Monkeys.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That was a brilliantly
And you didn't feel it was
choreographed,
over
orchestrated
CGI,
scene.
did you?
No.
You didn't care. You were
I
in
was
it.
I was shitting myself with
Exactly.
those baboons.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And it was
Mandrills.
Oh my
like
God. They are
baboons.
scary.
People
It was
think
And
they're
it was the way
baboons.
Kevin kept giving them facts. as
No,
well.
he was running in the middle.
That's what I was
That's
going to
the
say.
genius in the
That's
middle
what I
of the
loved
scene.
about it. It was funny. Kevin giving out
Yeah.
the facts. It was funny. It was scary. It was dangerous. It was exhilarating, and it was completely unpredictable. And I also loved Jack Black's character coming to life there because it was geography and geometry.
Yes.
So I think there were some really good themes.
Follow the perambula.
There were some really good themes and hidden stories there. You know that if we all pull together with our different skills, we don't all have to have the same skills.
There's the American moral.
Yeah, the skills, all those skills together as a team, and look what you can achieve.
Skills of the team, a bit like us all here.
What do you think I'm going to
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
In its genre, obviously we've
Genre.
genre. Obviously we've seen films like 1917 and
Joker.
Obviously that's a Joker, but in this genre,
Yeah.
a 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Every family has to go and see.
It's
I mean,
the
every
film
family.
of the Christmas. Go and see it.
Don't get it
Go
on
and see
video.
it.
Go and see it in the cinema.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And also, I like the fact that every single male actor in it was willing to take the piss out of their masculinity.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
think Teddy would love it, wouldn't
I think
Teddy
he'd love it. He'd love
Joke.
Go on.
Horse goes into a bar. Barman says, "Why the long face?"
it. Hey!
You found that joke far too
You
funny.
roared with laughter. Is your favourite character the horse, Mum?
No, it was the girl.
For more film and family fun, don't forget to click the subscribe button and make sure to click the bell to never miss an update.